Moving on now, for Nigeria's main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, the road to redemption may still be far due to some Herculean tasks before the new National Working Committee, NWC. According to reports, the immediate past PDP NWC handed over 20 million naira cash and a debt of 290 million naira to the new leadership led by Senator Iyorchia Ayu. This in addition to crises in 9 state chapters, that's of Edo, Anambra, Lagos, Osun, Oyo, Ekiti, Niger, Kebbi, and Kano, and the entire Northwest chapter. Jide, Governor Iyorchia Ayu has inherited.
He has his work cut out for him.
Yes, he has inherited both the asset and the liability,
which is normal. The party has famously fallen short of completing its national headquarters.
Yes.
After all these years.
Yes.
You are in power for donkey years.
Let's even start from this 20 million naira. If you remember, our friend Kasim Afegwa was one that reported the former NWC chairman to EFCC because Kasim Afegwa was saying that the money they collected for nomination, cumulatively, presidential nomination, House of Rep, out of everything, ran into. At the end of the day, this is just 2019, this is 2021. So how would they hand over 20 million naira cash?
Well, some matters are better, because I know what Kasim said is already subject of litigation. So there is a limit to which we can talk about that, so that it doesn't look like we are even validating what he's saying. These guys are saying that the staff, that the immediate PDP leadership, personal staff of the PDP leadership were entitled to 145 million per annum as housing allowance. So you can imagine 145 million naira as housing allowance. So they are saying that the immediate past acting chairman, N20m, sought and got approval of the PDP Governors Forum to pay at least 1 year of the housing allowance, but the payment was curtailed by members of the NWC. So what they actually spend their money on, I wish I understand. But matters of the PDP, especially as they concern money, they are the ones who are best positioned to explain how money will come in, yet you can't complete your secretariat. I think that is a big shame. That after all these years, you can't complete. That's why even the APC continue to taunt them with that abandoned project. They've not been able to muster the courage and the will to finish that project. Then I was listening to the governor of Rivers State was telling Senator Iyorchia Ayu that if he observes that he's derailing, that he's going to shout. Wike will not wait until you derail before he starts shouting. Wike, the way Iyorchia Ayu manages Wike will determine the future of the party.
Okay, just hold on to your gunpowder there. We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Stay with us. Okay, let's leave their finances and just say the more you do,
there are bigger issues than financial.
So because this 290 million has debt. Now, I was
saying that the way Iyorchia Ayu manages Nyesom Wike will determine the future of the party. Will determine whether the party will not self-immolate ahead of the 2020
because already there's this tendency to play the landlord of the party or the owner. Yes.
Either he has his way or he will disrupt everything. Governors pleaded with him that these are immediate past chairman. Secondus.
Just 4 more months.
He wants to go. He's not saying that he's not going. just allow him to even resign.
Finish his tenure, okay.
But he was more interested in disgracing him out of office. Secondus wanted to become the first PDP national chairman to complete his first term. No one in PDP history has successfully completed a first term in office as national chairman. You know? So, and he was close to completing the thing. By the time of the convention, you will have been able to replace him. The governors gave him the guarantee, but he was bent on making sure that
was punishing.
He kicked him out of office. So now he's telling Iyorchia Ayu that I will shout if I notice that you are derailing. He's already sending him clear signals of what to expect. So that, when you consider what he represents, what he's been doing the last few years, and you bear in mind the crisis across the states, you then will understand why PDP has far more problems than the issue of money that the media appears to be playing on. How do they, if you cannot put your house in order? In Kano, you know, we have Kwankwaso is up against the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Aminu Wali. You know, Mulika Takonde and the governor for your state, Seyi Makinde, they are wearing the same trouser. You know, in Anambra, even Osun and Kebbi, places where they are not likely to win the election, they can't even make peace. So, and how do you challenge the APC if you cannot put your house in order? The first thing you need to do to be in position to challenge the ruling party is to first put your house in order, make everyone
to be united,
jump in and fight that cause. But that's not what we are seeing.
A lot of people will argue that they've started well, in the sense that they've been able to cross the national convention.
The Rubicon, yeah.
And crossing the national convention, and the litmus test, the next one might be choosing a presidential candidate.
No, that's not the next step. That's the only test. This is just like...
and they will not refer you to APC that ordinarily to choose, you know, executive for the party.
Ordinarily to get to...
It's taking forever.
To hold the convention.
To hold the convention is taking forever, and that's...
Well, they have two different challenges, both APC and PDP. I'm sure we can talk about APC any other day. But for today, the challenge before the Ayu administration is how to navigate the presidential tickets. That is key. All this is just preamble. What we is doing is letting them know that fine, allow the two things to go. One, to allow Ayu to become party chairman, and two, that the presidential candidate can come from anywhere. Those 2 points, Wike will go down fighting. He has made up his mind about that. So the moment he sees Ayu pampering towards any other interest, Wike will come out and say his mind. That's why I said it's not yet Uru for PDP. The key here is that they have very giant egos that they have to placate. And these people have so much money, and all of them wants to be
and they can kick him out anytime.
So it's not really that safe. He's sitting on tenterhooks, and the only way for him to survive this is to take the middle road, and that to me in politics is extremely dangerous.
In fact, the former president Goodluck Jonathan told him that, look, you can be kicked out of this position anytime. So bear that in mind. All it takes is for these people to come together again. The governors literally own the parties, and they are showing it not just in the APC, but in the PDP as well.
That model. I think it's since 1999.
No, it was 2003 actually.
That gives the power to the governor.
2003, the Benedions and
it
was during Obasanjo's time. It was during Obasanjo's time.
Because I know that reverse was the case in the MPN, UPN days. There was nothing like
parties. The people owned the parties at that time, and the people will pay their dues. Yes, all the time. So the people used to sponsor candidates. The party used to sponsor candidates. Now the party will tell the candidate to go and look for money. After collecting huge amount of money from you, they leave you to go and handle the campaign, spend on your money on your campaign. You heard what the governor of Kwara said, you know. So when you now run the campaign on your own, spend your money, sell your houses, how does someone now come and be controlling you or trying to dictate to you when it was you brought yourself to power, literally? You spent your money, you spent your way into office. They won't listen because your moral hold on him has been loosened by leaving him to go and fend for his money, fend for himself. And yeah, so that is the thing.
Price, he paid it.
He's got to, the PDP, naturally when the leadership was zoned to
Southwest.
Do not.
We all felt that, to the north, we felt, okay, that could be the signal. But the other people said, no, in this presidency, the ticket, everybody should be able to contest. So that's what we have. So people like Wike, they are interested in the presidency. But we still have people like Aminu Tambua, people like Saraki as well, who are also interested.
Even the governor of Bauchi State.
Yes, the governor of Bauchi State is also a key.
In fact, somebody was telling me that almost all the
and he has the resources
within the PDP.
He's the longest serving FCT minister in Nigerian history. So he has the resources.
So Mr. Ayu has a very big battle for that.
There's a lot of, let's look at Wike. Yeah, can you see him on the left?
Okay, I have N2 from Mina. That's Niger State. Thank you for staying with us.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. I want to appreciate you, most especially Babajide.
Thank you.
We appreciate you because we really like what we are doing. And many of us here in the north, we want to be encouraging you and the TVC program, because anytime you talk about what is happening in the north, most especially what happened in Sokoto and Zamfara, many of us were happy. This issue of COVID that you are talking about, you said it, Babajide, it shouldn't be forced, do or die something. An issue of the flight, again, some of us, people are talking about insecurity, you know, you may not understand what is going on. I also want to appreciate you for talking about the issue of this party. For now, Nigerians are not interested in APC or PDP. What we are interested in is security issue of everybody we want to feel safe because of what is going on now. But Babajide, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution.
So much. Yeah.
Because the way it is, okay, he said Nigerians are not interested in APC or PDP. But I think, unfortunately, the way it's going now, Jide, it's going to be 2022 in some days' time. From the look of it, I think we are stuck with these two parties.
Yeah.
There cannot be a miracle for somebody to emerge, because everything starts and ends next year. Almost. Do you see any other party just...
The point that he's making is Nigerians are more concerned about their survival now than even the party politics. Everyone is talking about their survival and insecurity. That's the point that he appears to be making. And the way it is, Nigerians will be ready to vote for candidates that they think will better serve them, you know. So, and that's the best thing. We should not be sentimental in picking our leaders. We've got to learn, because in the past we were sentimental in picking leaders. We use all kinds of sentiments.
Honestly,
at the end of the day, we've been made to look like a fool. We've got to pick people without sentiment, people who can get the job done. Don't vote for somebody who can't get the job done. Forget sentiment. Forget his religion. Forget where it comes from. Yes, look at someone who has capacity. Yes, somebody who has capacity. Capacity, you may have integrity, you may have good character, but you may not have capacity.
And that's the key.
So at the end of the day, you will not be able
to.
Yes, you must have capacity. Over there in Europe and do they elect people who don't have capacity? No, they don't.
Final stretch on this, the PDP ahead of that election. There's this euphoria when it was 2019, some months before 2015.
Yeah.
As at that time, as a journalist, I felt it that something's about to change.
There was a win.
Yes, the momentum was gathering. Do you see this momentum right now?
No, not now. But like the caller said, it is those who have eaten that worries about which kind of fan they're going to use to sleep. First, you have to eat.
Survivor. Well, badly for survivor.
And it's getting worse by the minute. So my prayer is that the level of poverty that we're undergoing will not derail this democracy. Because it's getting to that level.
Poverty should not derail our democracy.
No, because you got to a point that people will
just take to the streets and
that's why when yesterday or 2 days ago the northern youth decided what to do about their situation. I told
there could be more protests in the coming days.
Not distraction. Yeah.
Everybody is feeling it now.
So it's beyond.
It's beyond sentiment now. Did you see the Daily Trust editorial? In the past, no one will expect. People will expect maybe Punch or someone else to write or Tribune. And if the Tribune did that kind of editorial, they will say, "Oh, these are Southern people. They hate the North, this and that." But here is the most prominent newspaper in the North, and one of the best in our country currently. You know, doing that kind of editorial.
Everybody did it on a Sunday, so you have time to read.
Okay,
that's all right.